How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to one quick episode of Tier Talk. It's going to be about the power of intentionality in corrections, which pretty much sits at the extreme of complacency. It is the opposite, the direct opposite of complacency. My guest today is going to be Russ Hamilton. What I'm going to do is I have a daily reader coming out. I'm actually, for this episode, I'm going to read you the whole passage. I think this is a very important tip, and then I'm going to have Russ react to this passage. And this is within Russ's expertise because, as you know, Russ is a very big advocate in making sure we are not complacent in this profession at any level. All right, let me get Russ on. What up, Russ?
Hey there, Anthony. How's it going?
Good. Russ, you mind quickly introducing yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Russ Hamilton. I am a former and now retired sergeant from California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Started back at San Quentin way back in the 80s, 1989, in fact. I am also a former senior juvenile correctional officer. I currently work for a private company where we do reentry and rehabilitation work for a local jail. Local county jail where I am a case manager and also for a local county probation department.
Yes, and we love having you, Russ. So, Russ, this will be real quick. I'm going to read you a quick passage that I have in my book coming out. This is March 2nd. Now, guys, if you watch the other videos I've done, I've given a paragraph or two quick summary of each passage that was within that section I was reading. This is actually going to be a complete passage. This is exactly what you will find in the book that will come out sometime next year. This passage is actually for March 2nd, and it's called The Power of Intentionality in Corrections. So it's the first time Russ is hearing it, by the way. Okay, so for rookies, but this is pretty much for anyone in this profession, no matter where you're at, what level you sit at, it could apply almost anywhere. So for rookies, stepping into the world of corrections, one of the most valuable traits you can develop is intentionality. Being intentional means deliberately engaging in your work with focus and purpose instead of passively going through the motions. In this profession where safety, security, and order are paramount, intentionality ensures that your efforts bring control and clarity to your responsibilities. It's a mindset that sets you apart and allows you to succeed in an environment where complacency is a constant threat. Corrections requires you to be present and purposeful in everything you do, whether you're conducting a count, writing a report, or engaging with inmates. Your actions must be deliberate. Why? Because this isn't just a job where tasks are performed out of habit. This is a profession where every decision and action matters. Intentionality gives meaning to even the most routine duties, reminding you that each task contributes to the larger mission of safety and security. One of the most important roles of intentionality is in fighting complacency, which can creep in as you settle into the daily grind of the profession. Routine work such as patrolling a housing unit or inspecting an area might feel repetitive, but intentionality keeps you alert and engaged. For example, when conducting a unit tour, don't just walk through the space, observe behaviors, notice patterns, and be aware of subtle changes in the environment. Ask yourself, what seems different today? Are inmates behaving unusually, or is there something out of place in their interactions or the physical space? This deliberate attention ensures that nothing slips through the cracks and reinforces your presence as a professional who is in control. Intentionality is also vital in how you interact with others. When you speak to an inmate, your words and tone must convey professionalism and authority. Ask yourself, am I setting the right tone? Is my communication clear, calm, and aligned with the goals of the facility? In the same way, intentional communication with your peers and supervisors fosters trust and collaboration. Corrections is a team effort, and how you present yourself, calm, collected, and deliberate, sets the tone for those around you. Whether you're building rapport or addressing a problem, intentionality ensures your communication is clear, confident, and effective. Another crucial aspect of intentionality is awareness. In corrections, awareness is more than just paying attention. It's about understanding the context of your environment, the behaviors of those around you, and even your own thoughts and actions. Intentionality helps you stay aware so you're not merely reacting to events, but shaping outcomes. Ask yourself, am I reacting impulsively or am I thoughtfully addressing the situation? Am I seeing the full picture or am I overlooking something important? This proactive approach ensures you remain in control, even in high pressure situations, and helps you make better decisions. Now, for rookies, it's essential to understand that intentionality doesn't come naturally. It's a skill that develops with time and practice. It requires effort and a commitment to staying engaged, but the rewards are undeniable. Intentionality makes you a better officer, enhances your situational awareness, and helps you remain professional in the face of challenges. By embracing intentionality, you're not just performing tasks, you're building a foundation for success in corrections. Make every effort count, stay engaged, and always approach your work with purpose. Remember, your efforts shape your environment, and intentionality is the key to ensuring those efforts have a meaningful impact. So I know there's a lot there, Russ. So the mic, my friend, is yours.
What a great challenge on this great morning here. I think that when we start talking about things about intentionality, the word that I would most often, I think, pair with it is the word why. Why is it that we're doing the things that we do? And I see so many young officers, come up short. You ask them the question, why are you doing this? And, the standard answer is kind of like, well, it says so in my post orders, or this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or this is the way that we've been doing it all along. And, they've asked the question why, but they've never got, below that first layer of the onion. Yes, we do things because it's policy procedure, it's in our post orders and all of those things. But we have to understand what the underlying intentionality of all those things mean. For me, it was a matter of, okay, why am I going to do this patrol of my housing unit? Well, I can rely on saying, well, the post orders say I should, or policy and procedure says that I should, et cetera. But I have to know what it is that I'm engaging in. I have to be intentional with what I'm doing, or I will never uncover the things that I should be uncovering. We can keep it at the most base level. Well, I'm just checking and seeing if everyone is alive and breathing still. And yeah, that's one element of it. The other things that we have to look at are the things that put us into a position to prevent and preempt serious incidents, right? So we can prevent and preempt by being intentional, by asking the why questions, or we can fall back to simply observe and respond. Well, hey, if something happens, I'm going to go deal with it. But what about the things you have not yet detected? What about things that are going to, remain simmering and bubbling underneath that layer of the onion? And you're not going to get to it in time to do the prevention and preemption. I've talked before about, one time where I got up to, go do my rounds. And this was in part of the old furniture factory at San Quentin. And I was looking around and like down this one long hallway, I saw this guy and he was fastening some fabric to some stuff with a staple gun. And I couldn't really see who he was. And then I knew that he had detected me and he was just kind of like off. And I thought, well, that seems a little bit unusual. And so I could have done the usual thing and just kind of, looked around and just said, maybe it's just one of those things. Or I could be intentional with it. I can ask myself why he was there, why he was doing the things that he was doing, and what was his purpose. And I kept looking around, trying to understand what had gone on, made a little, radio thing for someone to come up from the other direction, see if we can locate that individual, and making sure that I was really in that why of the moment. And sure enough, finally, I went over there and I looked at where some of this fabric was and I started pulling it back. and looking around, and there was like this little trolley that had been covered with this fabric, to escape detection, as it were. And then when I got far enough into, pulling that fabric off, there was a body inside, right? And it was a living body, not a dead body. But this person had put themselves into the position where hopefully we were going to miss them when we came out, even though we would have checked all of the IDs, and put that person into a position where they could have potentially escaped. And so that's the difference that we have here. That's the difference with our intentionality. Always looking as many levels deep as you can, always doing it with the idea that I'm going to detect something, I'm going to figure out something, I'm going to get some information, I'm going to stop an assault, I'm going to find a weapon, is a whole different caliber from just, functionarily going through the motions. So we have to be mindful of that. We have to be reasoning. We have to be logical. And we have to put ourselves in a position to learn all these things, because it's not a natural position to be in. Becoming that type of officer where you are that kind of impact player, it takes years, and it takes dedication, and it takes, thinking and understanding to be able to motivate you into that position where we're not completely complacent. We're not merely going through, all of the motions, because the motions can be very comforting to us, and the motions can tell us that we're not being complacent, and we completely fool ourselves because we don't understand what true intentionality is.
Right. I want to mention something too. Intentionality is what makes this job a career. To be honest with you, I was very intentional in this profession. I knew this was going to be a career. So everything I did, from moving up to the work I do every day, has always a level of intentionality to it, which is equates to my level of awareness and what I'm doing. And I want my awareness to be at 100%. But I want one other thing to mention here too. It's not a passive career. So intentionality also falls with your own mental health and well-being. If you sit here passively and allow the profession to get to you, it will get to you. But if you're intentional with your own mental health and well-being, you're going to be able to get through the challenges that you do face every day, and you'll be ready to face more. Intentionality truly is a key word, a foundational word in this profession. Hey, Russ, anything in closing?
I think that's, something that's, well spoken, to think about intentionality, excuse me, in different breakdowns, and intentionality with the profession, and intentionality with what we're doing security wise, intentionality with what we're doing with regards to our own mental health, and being out in front of all of those different facets, really, rather than just trying to play catch up from behind, and being, reactionary versus being proactive.
I totally agree. And guys, I just wanted to do a quick one. It was a quick power tip. Hopefully you guys were able to take something from it, and there'll be more to come. I'm just working on this daily reader, so I'm trying to come up with different thoughts. I need 365 of them. I'm already working on the third month. But this will be kind of what the passages will look like. It's going to be pretty much very detailed, and then you could take it what you can from it and then go ahead and try to find a way to apply it. But I think these are the foundational lessons that are not being translated right now. So hopefully this kind of fills that gap when unfortunately I have senior staff leaving. So I'm trying to put in a book and play, or another book and play, that will highlight some more lessons that I feel should always be passed down. So this will kind of manage that gap. As always, guys, the show is tiered. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify you every time I post a video. Stay safe.